Alright, hey guys, Zach D again here. Just showing off another sleeper PC build that I've done recently. This case, originally, I picked up from a place called the Airman's Attic on base for free. It was really dusty. Had original motherboard, power supply, all that inside of it, coated with like an inch thick layer of dust. It was pathetic. Originally, used to have a Intel Pentium 4 in it with Windows XP. It was actually running Windows Vista when I got it, but the hard drive sounding like it was dying. This chair is very squeaky. So I took out the hard drive that was originally in it and swapped that out for a newer mini ATX board. Is it mini or micro ATX? Mini ATX. So it has an Asus board in it right now with AMD FX 6300. I used a Wraith cooler with that. Still runs nice and cool. Haven't had any problems with this thing actually overheating. The fan in the rear, it doesn't have a front one, and there's no spot really to put a front fan in these. But the rear one actually does a really good job when the case is actually completely sealed of exhausting all the hot air that's in there. I've played a few games on this, like Call of Duty World War II, and it never got hot once. It didn't go above 50 degrees Celsius, and I was actually pretty impressed with that. Because besides the FX 6300, it's got 16 gigs of RAM, MSI Radeon R7 250. It's a 2 gigabyte card. This is one that obviously doesn't need an external power supply to run, just runs right off the motherboard. And it's a pretty good card for what it is. I mean, it's a budget card. It's like, 50, 60 bucks normally. But I mean, it'll run most games with medium to high settings. It depends what your resolution's at. I usually run 1080p and with a mixture of high settings, medium settings. Also has a Sound Blaster card in there. Trying to remember which model it was. I forget what model of Sound Blaster card, but that was also free from the Airman's Attic. That place is it's a gold mine for people like me. Other than that, that's not the stock power supply. It's a stock Dell power supply, but it's from a higher wattage system. Got that on eBay for, let's see, I believe it was like 10 bucks free shipping. It's good for, I think it was 350 watts. And for this board and the low wattage graphics card that I'm running in it, it actually does pretty well. As far as memory, right now I only have a 500 gig Western Digital Blue hard drive in there. And that's enough just to run this. It's running Windows 10. Boots up pretty quick, but that's about all it needs. As far as cable management, you can't really do much when you don't have a backplate, 2 high wires, so it's kind of a mess, but that's about as good as it gets, especially in a stock box, like I said. Not really anything else going on with this. Besides, like I said, it's just a Dell Dimension 2400 case, but that's the only original thing on it. Obviously, there's no more floppy drive. That's where the hard drive is now. Swapped out the CD drive that was originally in it. Now it has a DVD, CD combo drive. I mean, that works good enough. When I installed Windows 10 on this, well, the hard drive was blank when I put it in originally. Put Windows 10 on a thumb drive, made a bootable USB, and installed it that way, and it's worked pretty well ever since. But yeah, just a rundown of another sleeper PC that I made. Let me know what you think. Till then.